Welcome to the new live. Welcome. Today's topic is self-confidence from the general point of view and the point of view of my experience and the point of view of pain. Oops, sorry. My phone almost fell. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna start by how I saw self-confidence a few years ago. I used to strongly believe that self-confidence is what other people have and what you're given, basically, and what you just have or you don't have. And I saw myself as someone who doesn't have that, for sure. And the funny thing about this was that my surroundings, my people around me, would have never said that, or I have recently, once I've become aware of these things and I have learned a different way, I have figured out, or I found out, and it makes sense to me and I can see where they're coming from, that people have seen me as extremely confident, but it was my pain that was actually making me look confident, but I was suppressing that self-worth or self-awareness, and I definitely didn't feel good, didn't feel confident at all, and I would have never been able to come up here and talk in front of you guys and tell you something. But today I see it completely differently, and I have built this up. I have built up the self-confidence. I've learned how to be confident mainly through getting to know myself, and also, of course, through coaching and through really learning step by step for years and reprogramming my mind, because I have realized and I have understood that we create our reality and we're in charge of what we think about ourselves, how we think about the world, how we view things, how we view the world. We're in charge of our feelings and our thoughts. We're in charge of what we think in our mind, how we feel in our body, and we can connect, or the best guidance on how to connect to ourselves is our intuition and our body and our mind, but we're gonna talk about that later. And so I thought it's something, self-confidence is something that you're given, you have it or you don't have it, and I thought I don't have it and I can't have it. And I have a good point here written down in my notes, that it comes down to the big truth is that no one actually knows what they're doing, and it is only about you connecting to some form of your knowing and your truth. It's about creating your own truth, and what I talk about on these daily lives is not gonna make sense for many of you, and it's gonna anger many of you, and it's gonna create all sorts of emotions probably, but at the same time my mission is that I was the one that was angered before. I was the one who would have never been listening to someone like me right now. I was the one not believing in energy, or not believing in spirituality or universe, or everything is connected. None of that. I had no time. I was extremely busy, overworking myself, workaholic, hardworking, motivated. But I would say I was going, for then it was my right direction. I wouldn't have changed anything. But looking back, I was going the opposite way, but I had to go really far away from myself to get to a really low point of extreme pain and extreme uncomfortableness to be able to change, and to be able to change my point of view, to have a deep understanding of how things are and how things work. That's why now I can talk about this is how it is, because I see this now, and I can see it clearly, how simple life is in its core, how simple pain is, and how powerful our pain is, how much it's our intuition, how much it's a part of us. And it's essential for me now to share with you what I have learned, because I was at that point of view that maybe you are right now, where you are right now, and not believing that any of this would be possible for me, or not even wanting it at that point. But obviously my pain led me there. And so your body and your mind can be some kind of a compass in this. They are the ones to guide you, and they are the ones to connect you to the intuition. And then the intuition, I imagine it as something energetic or something inside you. There is one part of you wanting to do things a certain way, but the intuition is telling you, you know what's the right way for you to do things. How is the right way for you to do things? So with our logical mind and our perfectionism, we tend to make up stuff, and we make things that we think we should be doing, and we make up a lot of stuff. And this comes along with self-confidence also, because we think how we should be, how confident we should be, but forcing self-confidence without the awareness and without understanding is what can create then more pain, because it creates even a bigger imbalance between you and you connecting with yourself. And it takes you, whenever becoming confident takes all of your power and takes all of your strength and makes you exhausted from life and tired and just frustrated and angry, whenever that is your definition of self-confidence, then you're doing it wrong, and there's not that only way. The self-confidence that I talk about is the healthy self-confidence that is aligned with you, where you are really okay with yourself honestly. You're not just showing up a face and showing up a version of yourself, but you are okay with the way you are and the way you do things and the way you allow yourself to make mistakes and the way you allow yourself to not know everything the right way the first time. And as the time now offers, we're probably for the first time in history, you are free to do what you want and say what you want. Even though our limitation still tells us differently and tells us what we shouldn't be saying and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Right now is the time where you can be doing what you want to be doing, and where the self-confidence can become healthy and can become aligned with you. And important part of this is the mind programs, and because they are keeping you safe. The mind always wants for you what is safe and what it knows. It doesn't want what you want, but it wants what is safe for it. It wants what it knows. And so I'm just reading my notes so I get this right. So the mind programs are keeping us in safety of what we know, and what we know is that it's not safe to be too much, to say too much, to step outside of the lines. So in the beginning of working on your self-confidence, you want to make sure that you're aware of maybe the starting point or where your mind is at. And if it's not safe for you, if you think it's not safe for you to be too much or say too much or step outside and do those steps, that's okay, because it's your starting point. You just need to become aware of it, that this is your starting point. I'm gonna tell you an example of how I started, because self-confidence is a lot connected to being satisfied with yourself, and migraines are very connected to being satisfied with yourself. Migraines are basically the imbalance from being satisfied with yourself and aligned and healthily confident to the state of extreme pain, because the pain is the manifestation of you not being aware of your own satisfaction or of your own confidence. And you being not satisfied with yourself is an imbalance, because the neutral state is you being okay with yourself. You have chosen yourself, how you're gonna be, and your task here is basically learning to be okay with that version of yourself. But whenever you are not satisfied with yourself, this is a form of imbalance, and this is that's the point of the perspective from which you create your pain. So me starting to understand there's another way, and me starting to realize things, okay, it was great, but at the same time, I was nowhere near satisfied with myself. I became aware, okay, I'm not satisfied with myself. I don't think I'm enough. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm doing enough. But I understand that this is my mind situation right now. I understood that was my starting point, more or less. I didn't really understand in the beginning what was happening, but I had the realization that life is simple, and that was my goal, and life can be without pain. That was my goal. And so that was a goal, but in real life, how to project this into real life when you're completely not satisfied with yourself. But you know that you can change this. And I had to start changing the really core mind programs. I used affirmations because that at that time made most sense to me, and it still does. And affirmations means you are choosing for once your own thoughts. And from the thoughts, as they multiply, they become beliefs. Because belief is a series of thoughts that create the mental paths, the brain paths in your brain, and they become so strong that they become a belief. So this is why when you repeat an affirmation about yourself, over time it becomes a belief. And from there you can act, because if you have decided, okay, I want to become confident, I want to become satisfied with myself, but at this point I'm absolutely not. The idea of going on a live like this makes me want to throw up, or the idea of being even satisfied with myself makes me want to throw up. That's okay. You are refusing this about yourself, being satisfied with yourself. Been there, done that. That was my beginning, but I was determined, okay, I can change this, and this makes sense. Or trusting life. I didn't trust life at all. And the idea of allowing myself to go into the flow and trust life, just that it will provide for me and I don't have to control it and grasp to things and keep doing. That was a sci-fi idea, but today I live this. And it did really take me, when we go back to the affirmation of I am satisfied with myself, that was one of the first affirmations that were very strong, and I refused them. My body was resenting this, absolutely resenting this in the beginning. But I kept going, and I can tell you, maybe 2 years later, 2 years it took me to really embrace this thought about myself on a deeper level. And it has built up because I haven't used only one affirmation. And the more you use in the beginning and the more often you use them, especially when you use them in triggering situations and in hard situations where you don't feel confident or where you don't feel satisfied with yourself. This is where it is most powerful, and you're rewriting the mind patterns in your brain, in your mind. So over time, it does set in, and it will, whatever you want to be in the future, you can decide to implement this affirmation. Obviously, more practices and learning how to work with your emotions. We talk about all of this in the lives, so you can scroll on my page and check that out. But yeah, it took me really like 2 years before it sunk into some point where I can say I am satisfied with myself. Of course, I feel like I can go way deeper. I'm not 100% yet, and I think it's your long life journey. But compared to where I was, and also with pain, having painful migraine attacks on the daily basis, maybe twice a day, 30 days of the month, to being here where occasionally I experience with a lot of stuff going on and still some processes happening, I occasionally experience pain and migraines in a way lower intensity, and let's say a few times per month. But compared to where I was and where I started telling myself I'm satisfied with myself every day, and I kept going, today it comes easily whenever there's a triggering situation. This is what helps me ground myself and come back to myself. And the affirmations are there for me. They're available because you choose what you feed your mind with, the same way you choose what you feed your body with. The same way I have made the choice, okay, I could be feeding in a stressful situation my mind with, oh, what a stupid idea, why did I do it, it was a giant mistake, and punishing myself for whatever I did. Instead, I chose to feed my mind with those healthy affirmations, with that goal, even though I didn't believe it most of the time going forward, maybe for 2 years really. But it does eventually sink in, and this is the same way you build your self-confidence, step by step, by adjusting your mind. What works for you? Understanding what are your priorities, what are your needs, what is it you even want, because before you didn't know you had this opportunity, you had this possibility to choose what you want. Before you thought you have to accept whatever life is giving and just take it. Just take it. But on a way of the self-healing journey, on a way of simplifying your life, opening yourself to life, trusting life, inviting more life into your life, on that path, you build up on. You don't look into the past, what you believe was possible, but you make the impossible as you believed possible. This is where you take your limiting beliefs, because whatever you believe you can't have, from being confident to being satisfied with yourself, whatever there is, it is you creating that belief, and it starts in your mind. And you are creating your situations from there on. And of course, it's linked to the body, and it's not as simple as just doing the affirmation, because the affirmation, what it does, a new belief sinking in, has to rebuild the other ones, has to replace the belief of I'm not satisfied with myself. This is where the emotions come and arise. The ones that have been stored in your body, the pain opens and allows the relief. Okay, so this is how it's all connected together. But it is a step by step, and you won't even know if this becomes part of your life, using affirmation or building your confidence step by step. Being able to present yourself in front of yourself, like I'm doing right now, then in front of more people, then in front of more people, then in front of the closest ones, because that might be the hardest way, the hardest part of it. But it is about going forward, and it is not something you just don't have and you can't have. The satisfaction, self-worth, self-love, feeling loved enough, feeling confident enough, feeling worthy of all the things that life offers. It's only you who's going to change that and who can start implementing it. And then when it becomes your daily practice, then you won't even know you're doing it, but you will. And with that, you build up on it. You overwrite what you have learned before, and this is where you can keep going for as long as you're here, because whatever was no longer is, and from this moment now, you again choose the thoughts you implement into your mind. You choose what you feel, what you need to feel, what is your priority once you become your priority. And this connects to the life we did yesterday about prioritizing yourself and about pain. And let me see what more I have in my notes. Because as long as you listen to what you think you should be doing, you're completely neglecting what you want to be doing. And thinking that you can get ahead without doing what you want to be doing is a very common misbelief. This is something we have learned. We have learned to, okay, this is what you're going to be doing to hard earn money, for example. And the side of amusement or of free time or relaxation, whatever, that's on the side. That's irrelevant. This is your priority. But you can change this, and this can become your money source, and this will be an easy money source where you are at your best alignment, you speak your truth, and it sources you and nourishes you with everything you need in your life. This is the misled belief we have been programmed to. And welcome. And pain is a great reminder of this, because pain comes when you are not aware of who you are and how significant you are to this world, because you're the only one probably who's not aware of it. Others probably admire you, you probably inspire others, but until you believe about yourself that you're nothing special, you're not significant to this world, then this is what you're manifesting in your life. This is the belief, and the people are telling you what you want to believe. Not something that's hurtful, but you are hurting yourself with the core belief. Whatever they're saying is confirming your core belief. So it starts in your mindset, in you. And pain comes when you feed your fear instead of your purpose. That's very good, very nice. Because at your purpose and at being okay with what you're doing, you must be the one giving yourself that approval. No one is coming. No one is coming to give you approval that working 1 hour a day is enough. And the rest is nurturing that working. In the rest, you are learning and sourcing whatever you need to be able to perform at your maximum that 1 hour. For example, it can be whatever. Or it's 2 hours if that works for you. Or it's 3, 4. Okay, so the pain is a good reminder. Whenever it comes, you're getting further instead of closer. And then tuning in with it and aligning with it brings you back to that healthy self-confidence, to that healthy alignment, closer to that healthy satisfaction. And it's not something that comes to you or you can get it somewhere. You don't sell self-confidence somewhere. It's a trained skill. It's something you need to learn. It's a combination with practice, learning, and awareness. And also, obviously, with the learning how to set your boundaries, how to surround yourself with people that will support you in being confident, because they also are gonna go along that way with you and are gonna become confident with you. Because if you surround yourself with those who don't even want to be self-confident, then there's gonna be a large gap created between you, and obviously those won't support you in becoming confident. So you need to realize, is that what I want? Do I want to be confident? Do I want to be satisfied with myself? And once you make that decision, you set whatever boundaries you need to set, because that's your decision. It's your choice to become successful, happy, confident, whatever the choice. This is the first step, and then all comes building up. But then you need to let go, release what isn't aligned with that, those who aren't aligned with that, because you grow with those who want to be in your life. And yeah, self-confidence is becoming aware of yourself and becoming satisfied with yourself. And if you're not satisfied with who you are today, right now, trust me that you can learn this. You can learn how to be satisfied with yourself, how to be self-confident. And you have to override your mind patterns with what you have, with what you want your mind to tell you, instead of what you have allowed for your mind to believe. This is very important, because the mind patterns and whatever comes up in that stressful situation, in that overwhelming, triggering situation, whatever comes up, it is what you allowed for it to be there. So if there are thoughts coming up from the mind or from the voice of your parents or whoever starts talking and punishing you for whatever seemingly mistake you made, then this is what you allowed for it to be there. And you can replace this with your own thoughts, your own mind patterns, and suddenly you're gonna be stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something new, learning something new, and in your mind there's gonna be a crowd of people cheering, yeah, you can do this, you're the best, you're gonna be the best. Because this is how you talk to yourself. This is what comes up. If you talk to yourself with the voice of your mother or your father that keeps saying, well, you're worth nothing, you can't do this, you will never achieve what you want, you won't get there, you don't have what it takes, then this is what will be coming up. And especially in those triggering situations, we can hear it. And that's why when we change it, there won't be any more triggering situations. If we change the mindset, if we change what we believe, if we implement our own thoughts saying, wow, I did so great, I tried, I did, for example, I did my first trade in trading, I did the first trade, and no one's gonna take that away from me. I have learned, it was a successful trade, and I did it, and I'm only gonna start building up on that sensation of how great it was that I even tried, because this is what then separates you from those who won't even try. You have tried, and you have to be the one allowing yourself, approving yourself, and being the one who taps on your shoulder, giving yourself that medal. I tried, and it worked or it didn't. Doesn't matter the outcome. I tried, and I am happy about that. I approve of myself. I'm proud of myself for that. This is how you build the self-confidence. Because if you're not okay with who you are, then the self-confidence will always be the unhealthy one, the powerful one, the forced one. It won't be the real one, and everyone around you will know. This is what you resonate with the world. This is what you spread, and this is what comes back to you. And yep, migraines are a lot about not being satisfied with yourself. We talked about this, and I have started with the affirmation, I'm satisfied with myself. And the healthy self-confidence is the one that makes you feel good about yourself with ease and peace inside you, not the one that makes you use power against yourself and conditions you to doing. Yeah, this is very important, because the unhealthy self-confidence is the one that keeps pushing you and is very mean to you and is like, you have to do this, you have to stand up there, and you're like, I don't want to stand up in front of that crowd. And the unhealthy confidence, you have to do this, you have to go over yourself in order to achieve what you want. But this is not the case. You can become very aligned, and this will help you see what opportunities are really there for you and what are only the ones you think you should take. Okay, you need to understand where you're giving and receiving energy. You need to balance this out, and then you will become braver and stronger in making those decisions. Yeah, this is the opportunity for you. It screams yes, yes, yes. And this is a maybe, so probably it's a no. It's a no, it's a no. And I am aware of my power, of my energy that I use. Therefore, I'm not going to waste my energy on an opportunity that's not here for me, that is forced maybe, because then that creates, you will never satisfy someone else, and it will create even more tension. It will build up more tension, and after you come back from that opportunity, you're going to be saying, well, I knew it. That wasn't for me. I shouldn't have even gone. I shouldn't have even done it. And so yeah, in the healthy self-confidence, there's no room for anger or tension, because you approve of yourself, no matter of your mistakes or failures or fear. And you approve of yourself as a whole with love and acceptance of what is right now. So you approve of yourself, of what you are living now, how you are now, where your mindset is now, how your body feels right now, how everything feels right now. And moving on from that, you're moving from a point of view of confidence, of alignment, instead of, well, shouldn't I be doing that? Shouldn't I be doing that? Shouldn't I be doing that? In order to seemingly satisfy someone else's needs instead of my own. Very powerful topic. I hope this resonates. I hope this helps you, and you can watch it from the recording. And thank you for being here. Bye. Have a